If my husband talked to me the way that I talk to him sometimes, I would be in a literal puddle.
Guys can say shit to each other, and guys are like, yeah, you know what? You're right. I gotta fucking get my shit together. Women are just weak.
How refreshing it is to hear a man with backbone simply speak the truth without fearing consequences.
When you meet me in real life, I ooze personality.
I do not want to hear anyone whining over and over.
It's no wonder that more and more women are crying because men are choosing to go their own way.
Why? Why do you think it's okay to use another human as a placeholder? Basically a placeholder. Because you haven't found the right human yet, so you're going to just chill with somebody else, knowing that they're not for you, and stating that out loud, but you're going to use them as a placeholder because you're comfortable. Why? I mean, if that's an understanding between you, then that's a whole nother thing. If you straight up say that, like, hey, listen, I know we're not really for each other, but I don't want to be alone, say for the holidays. So let's chill together. What do you think? The honesty goes a long way. But when you just use somebody as a temporary because they're comfortable and you don't want to be alone, but you know they're just, well, you basically call them a placeholder. Not cool. Not cool. And I'm talking to both men and women, y'all. This is like a humankind thing. Not cool. Stop.
It is ironic to hear a woman say that it is not nice to use another person as a placeholder for one's own needs when considering that it is predominantly women who put men in the friend zone or maintain entire marriages with men as placeholders to gain access to their resources. It is fascinating to observe how some women describe unfair and inhumane behaviors without realizing that they are referring to typically female behaviors.
If my husband talked to me the way that I talk to him sometimes, I would be in a literal puddle. Sometimes I am so mean to that man, and he's always so kind. And I know that if he ever returned the same words and the same tone, I would cry.
You know what the saddest part is that I can't even say that this man can only take so much and that he will someday potentially leave, and you're going to be left thinking, why? What happened? I honestly can't say that because I don't think that's what's going to happen, because I know good men and I know that they will stay. I think that a lot of that has to do with men actually loving greater than women. They love and stay even when there's a lack of kindness, effort, reciprocation, happiness. So when a woman comes on and she's very obviously aware of her lack of kindness, for her to not talk about sitting down with her husband and taking accountability and apologizing on top of changing, it's kind of sad.
Such clips demonstrate that women are often aware of their misbehavior but show little empathy for men who do their best to make them happy. Her behavior reflects the saying, if you treat a woman like a star, she will treat you like a fan, proving to be true. Perhaps her husband should treat her just as unfairly in conflict situations, so she gets a taste of her own medicine. But unfortunately, most men today lack the backbone to do so and will keep on defending their women.
Tell me if I got like really fat or...
You guys you're not built like us. Guys can say shit to each other, and guys are like, yeah, you know what? You're right. I gotta fucking get my shit together. And women are just weak. So you say something, women are fragile. And here's they're also, no.
Are fucking stupid.
Well, here's the thing. There's a lot of truth to that. Women are,
oh my God.
Women are weaker and dumber than men.
Weaker and dumb, or emotionally intelligent?
No. Women, in a lot of ways, you could just say women are pathetic. And so when you have to speak honestly, you have to talk to a woman like you would a child. Hey, do you know sugar and a lot of carbs, they actually aren't that good for you. Unless you're going to expend a lot of energy. I think I might get into some tuna. Something like that.
I hate you so much.
But it's not your fault. It's really just being a woman.
Okay, thank you. Bye now.
My daughter asked a really good question. Why are men more afraid of marriage than they are of having children? Because it seems like children would be a bigger commitment. And I said, whew, I thought she was gonna ask something hard. This is easy. Men see marriage as their responsibility, that they are the protector and provider for their wives. And they can't do certain things once they're married. They can't be out hanging out long hours of night. They're supposed to come home at decent hours. They're supposed to be faithful to one woman for the rest of their lives. So when a man gets his woman pregnant, when he's not married to her, he sees that as her responsibility. That's her fault. That's her accountability, that she has to do it. Men completely remove themselves from the equation, and society has allowed them to do that because men see women as the ones that are responsible for raising children. He doesn't see that as his responsibility. He sees marriage as a responsibility, and he doesn't want that.
Women will do everything to avoid taking responsibility for the fact that fewer and fewer men today want to get married, because in most cases, marriage is a very bad deal for men. Men are less afraid of having children because they love their children, but they fear being eliminated in court during a divorce. It would be easier to face this reality than to put so much energy into coping and avoiding responsibility.
The easiest thing to get is a man. It's 2025. I do not want to hear anyone whining over a man. You get up, you take your shit, and you focus on yourself. You focus on yourself, you focus on your career, you make money, you live your life, but you certainly do not focus on a man. We don't do that shit.
Imagine if women like her were capable of developing an understanding of the societal harm and the negative influence they have on impressionable young women. She believes she is strong and independent, but in reality, she is merely repeating the same mindless phrases that were instilled in her without critically questioning them. She believes that just because she is attractive, she is in a position to give life advice to young women. How ridiculous.
Tio, you are waking up with me. I know I cheated on you with Carla, and I get it. I already knew this was going to happen, so I have 3 dates lined up tonight. But because I'm a man and I don't spend time on my own ever, I don't know how to be single. So I will definitely be in another relationship by next week. Yes.
Here's why I have always, even the mere concept of dating as a fat person. When you meet me in real life, I ooze personality. I got a Leo rising, okay? I am going to be the life of the party. I'm going to be asking you about your childhood. You're going to be like, this girl's kind of weird, but I will be distinctive. And so immediately you will be able to tell who I am because I don't hide it, and I'm loud and I'm obnoxious. I'm a theater kid. But in dating, especially online dating, the first thing you see is somebody's appearance. You don't get a sense of who they are as a person. And when you just judge me off of my appearance, what are you going to see? You're going to see I'm fat. And that is going to make somebody so much more likely to attribute these fat tropes to me, which I have always been so just resentful of and so afraid of coming off as that. I just really don't want people to see me and assume all these really negative, by the way, things about me, when if they just had one conversation with me, they would see that I am a whole and very interesting person, if I do say so myself.
She feels that the world of men treats her unfairly because she is reduced to her appearance. Just wait until she realizes that 80% of men are basically invisible to women. Women like her seriously believe that our patriarchal society is responsible for the fact that only women are reduced to their looks.
I don't want to say I'm anti-man, but yeah, I'm kind of anti.
Most successful men have a wife. Most successful women are single. Why? Well, it's simple. She's looking for somebody on her level, and he's looking for somebody. Other women clown women for dating someone beneath them, and other men are like, if you like it, I love it. That's why. Women do things to their own detriment and then say they hate men. That's all that post is. If successful women were willing to date people way beneath them financially and to take care of them, then they would have much more success in dating. It's just that as men make more money, their options open, and as women make more money, they close their own options. There are so many homosexuals out here. I know, because y'all talk about them all the time. With all those homosexuals, you don't think that one of those super successful women can take him and, you know, make him into a house husband? Yes, the answer is yes. Just like rich men see a fine girl at Walmart and be like, I like her shit. And not even rich men. Let's stop talking about rich people. Let's just talk about people who are well off. Like a guy who makes 6 figures is not looking for a woman who makes 6 figures unless he's like very specific about that. Almost every woman who's making 6 figures, almost, not all of them, but almost everyone is looking for a man who makes 6 figures or better. So you're chopping off your hand and then crying that it's bleeding. That's what you're doing. Oh, I hate men because like all the successful men are married and all the successful women aren't. Well, that's because you did it to yourself. He gave himself more options. You took them away. And I get it. Being selective is I get all that. I get all that. I support it even. But don't complain about it. Don't complain about it.
I love you.